Hello, this is Brian Rowe with Mythic MTG Tech number 73, looking at the M14 event deck that just came out this last Friday. A lot of people have asked me whether it's worth picking up or not, and I'm really divided on it. I'll get to that at the end. This is a very good, solid deck, though. It is very playable. It is based around an aggro strategy of putting a significant amount of creatures in play and hitting your opponent pretty hard, pretty quickly. It is one of the better designed decks from a play strategy perspective. The best cards in this deck are clearly Stomping Grounds, which is worth more than half of the value of it. The Gore Clan Rampagers, which this is an amazing card. I love this card. I'm glad that it's found a home here in Standard, and this card is likely to also find a home somewhere in Modern. Burning Tree Emissaries, Mythic Mortars, Cracklers, even the new Elvish Mystic that a lot of people I know just want to pick up a playset of them. This has a full playset of them. Rule Charm I also really like, going all the way back as far as Legacy. Now, the valuable cards are also the same cards. If you'll notice, there's not very many rares that are valuable here. The Stomping Grounds and the Mythic Mortars are where most of the value comes from. Gore Clan Rampagers also, though, are about $2 at most places, and you've got a full play set there. So the MSRP on this is $25, although everywhere that I know is selling it for less than $25. Star City Games has it at $20, and Card Kingdom has it at $18. If you want the cards for value, this is a very good deal at 20 or less. The realistic value of the cards inside this is about $22 or so. A few of these cards happen to be really hot because of the Kibler deck currently, so they could drop a little bit. If you technically add everything up, you're going to be looking at like $35, $40, but realistically, this is about $20 worth of cards for a little bit less than $20 in actual cost. What I was really disappointed with when this was originally spoiled is what they did with most of the rare spots. Most of the rare spots are just junk. I don't know what they were thinking. Maybe it's tough to be as good of a deck builder as Kibler is, I understand, and they wanted to highlight a few of the new cards, but many of these cards are subpar, suboptimal, not the type of thing that I would like to see in a competitive deck. Most of these cards here are going to be quarter cards. I also was a little bit confused on why they put the Tusker in here and Burning Tree Emissaries. This really isn't the type of combination that you want. I actually really like the Tusker in a super fast deck, but Burning Tree Emissary is even better in a super fast deck, and the fact that they don't synergize makes it very difficult to play them together. One big thing about these decks, they're really starting points if you want to win major tournaments. One way to take this deck and transform it into an incredibly competitive Friday Night Magic deck is to take a look at Kibler's current red-green deck and go big. Add some Arbor Elves to speed the deck up, add some more Shocklands to it, get rid of the Guild Gates, add Hell Riders, Thundermaw Hellkites, and Domri Raids, with the idea that the Domray is an extra card about half the time, and you can hit people extremely hard. Also, Burning Earth is just a major improvement for this deck for the sideboard. I'm shocked that Burning Earth wasn't in this deck. This is what I really wanted to see in the rare spot. This punishes people for using the Shocklands. It starts to move things back towards mono or dual color decks, and honestly makes the game a bit more affordable for new players because those $200-300 mana bases are being punished by this card. I love it. I really wish it had been in the event deck. The other option here, though, is one that I haven't seen anybody else talk about, which is try to improve this deck by going faster. Dryad Militants are a 2-for-1 that are really overlooked in the current environment. I would add some more, add some Flint Hoof Boars, increase the Burning Tree Emissary count, make sure that your creature count is high and you stay with Domre, and maybe have the very top of the curve be Hell Riders so that you can blow people out on turn 3 or turn 4, depending on whether or not you play any Mana Dorks, because you can hit extremely hard with this deck, extremely quickly if you go the small, fast route. This deck strategy is more susceptible to blowouts because you're committing a lot to the board quickly. This is the way that I would go if you want to go under other decks that are similar. I wouldn't recommend going this way if the environment moves towards Supreme Verdicts or Terminuses. The other thing is, add Scavenging Oozes. I understand why they didn't add Scavenging Ooze to this deck, because they just double reprinted Scavenging Ooze in a pretty good sized quantity, but Ooze is the most amazing card out of M14. Pick up your Scavenging Oozes as soon as possible. I'm going to do a whole video talking about Scavenging Oozes coming up here soon, but this card is going to continue to climb in price. On release day, you could pick it up for $10 to $15. It's already up to $20 at most places, and it's going to continue to go higher in the coming months, all the way through Modern Season and maybe beyond. Would I buy this deck? If I need the Stomping Ground? Hell yes, this is a great way to get a Stomping Ground and some other value. Also, if I'm just getting back into Standard and I want a deck to customize and be competitive at a Friday Night Magic, this is a solid starting point, which is what a Event deck should be. So in either of those two situations, need the Stomping Ground, you want to play in a Friday Night Magic, definitely grab this deck. If you just want it for investment purposes, I'd actually say avoid it given all of the so-so rares that are in it. But overall, I think they did the right thing, and this is a very good event deck. Thanks. This has been Brian Rowe with Mythic MTG Tech looking at the M14 event deck.
Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.